time between academic, sports, and activities? I don't know how to answer that one. Every day kind of feels like my busiest day of the week. Because at the end of the day, I always have classwork to do, some project that's coming up and I gotta get ready for. I am really tired, like going into the school year, but also when I have to wake up at 6:30 for a whole month every day, it also puts me like in a good habit to. I don't exactly remember when, but there was a time where our head coach said, "You don't have practice tomorrow. You have tomorrow off." When I was told that, I was really excited to finally being able to sleep in after a whole month. And I went to bed, and again, since I was already in the habit, I just woke up at 6:30 a.m. I'd say my number one stress here is probably getting assignments turned in on time because that is the most important thing here. Even though I do love football, I mean, if I were to be late and have to do some type of punishment, I mean, it wouldn't really affect me that much, only for like that little moment. But if I were to get a bad grade on a test or some assignment or not turn something in, that could really just bring down my grade and really affect my GPA as well. A lot of times I'll be sitting in class thinking about what else I got to do or how much more time I have left before I got to get this assignment turned in, or like what we're gonna be doing in practice today, stuff like that. There will be days where I'm just really stressed, really tired, and really I just got to get through it. And I'll like on the outside, I might look like I won't care and just really just not trying to be there, but on the inside, really I do try my best. And there have been times where people say or ask me if I really care about this class, and truly I do, but it's just kind of hard to show. For the days where I have classes back to back, that really like stresses me out, or where I have classes and then practice and I still gotta eat and hydrate and all that. Having breaks to me, it really is important because in a way it's kind of what keeps me sane a little bit. For Saturdays, I'd say at least more than half is taking it by football because we wake up around 9, about 9 a.m. To report to Aikens to get our pregame meal in the locker room. And that's also our game day too, and we're not usually done until around 3 or 4 p.m. And most of the time my family also comes out to watch the game, and they don't want to just watch the game and then have to drive an hour and a half back. They always want to get something to eat too, so we'll spend another good hour, hour and a half just grabbing a bite to eat, doing whatever, catching up since they're at home and I'm here, and I don't really see them every day too. Yeah, by the time I'm done with all that, it's at least 6 o'clock, and for Sundays, I'd say football probably takes about half that day too, because that morning we also do have practice and lift, and yeah, it definitely gets in the way. Most of the time, when my family do come up, actually my stress does go away for that brief moment when I'm with them, mainly because of my brother and sister. If they're both there, then I usually forget everything that I was thinking about before and just focus on being with them because I do love them to death and I try to enjoy every second that I'm with them. And sometimes my parents do like to bring up my schoolwork and my grades and the field and practice and all that. And when they do bring that up, that's when the stress does come back all the time, and I try to tell them, let's just not talk about that now. Let's talk about something, more uplifting. The most important sacrifice I have to make to me, I'd say mainly just sleep and finding time to eat. Usually I'll wake up, brush my teeth. After that, I'll get something to eat for breakfast, usually a bagel. I try to wake up early, but I'm really not a morning person, so a lot of times I'll wake up a little late and just won't have time to go somewhere and grab some breakfast. And I'll have to risk skipping breakfast just to go to class and then have a small little 30-minute window from class to my next class. So sometimes I'll try to sneak in a little meal around that time. I spend most of my free time like at night or after practice. I do spend time watching film, also time lifting or time talking to my coaches as well, including practice, probably 5 hours. So yeah, it definitely does get in the way a lot. When I'm lifting, there are a lot of times where I'll be way too tired or just don't feel like lifting or too hungry to lift. But there's always some little voice in my head saying, you have to do this, you have to get better no matter how tired or how much you don't want to do it. Like, you need to do this. And that little voice always kind of motivates me in the mornings. But also at the same time, I mean, when it's off season, I do think I get more of a break because I don't have a 2 hour practice. I gotta go to the middle of the day or any morning lifts. And I do try to take a good hour or two for lift and running, but I can do it whenever I want. I don't have a specific time where I have to do it. But then again, when we start having spring practice again, that's when it starts to get in the way of my classes again, and it kind of repeats itself all over. When I'm lying in bed going to sleep, most of the stress is gone, but I also am still thinking, like, if I did something wrong, like, I'll probably be thinking about that overnight, or I'll be thinking of ways to get better at something that I didn't do good in the past. But at the same time, I mean, it's also in the past and you can't do anything about it anyway, so the best thing is to do is just move forward. I think football, it does give me something to do, and it also motivates me to have good grades in class too. At the moment, I hate doing conditioning and all that hard stuff that we do in practice, but like when it's all over, I'm like, I kind of miss it a little bit. I really just miss being with my teammates because when you go through camp and basically through hell for like a whole month, you really do like build a bond with all your teammates. As much as like exhausting football can be, I wouldn't want to live in a world without it.